There we go, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sorry about that. Obviously, one of our guys got disqualified due to AI being stupid. We couldn't really allow that, so we've reset the grid. He's got his P3 back, and we're just waiting for, obviously, people to choose their setups now. And I now have a proper co-commentator. You've not heard him in MRC for a while, but you may need a translator for his dulcet tones. You never know, but of course it's the king of the purple burglar alarm. It is none other than Grant. Good evening, mate.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
Very well, my friend. Glad to be back on comms with you as well.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, I say
Just
translator, I can understand you fine, so hopefully everybody else can.
yeah, well, sometimes certain things I say it's may say once or twice for some viewers, but apologies in advance. I'm not as posh as Gav, shall we say?
Oh, Gavely Pinkham. I laugh a minute, but yeah, he's not. Doesn't sound very Scottish, does he?
No, it sounds like an Edinburgh boy.
Well, what do we expect from a Celtic fan?
Yeah, well,
Let's
I
have a
won't.
quick
I
look.
won't say anything on that matter.
Let's have a quick look at the tyres. We've got Colin and Era Voice on softs. Everyone else has gone mediums. I believe there was a bit of an issue with trying to do custom weather, so it is on random again. We don't actually know what we're going to get. Hopefully there'll still be some moisture in there for Mr. Baby Hornet, but we can't guarantee it, of course. Cowboys had a bit of a connection issue. Hopefully he gets back in while this formation lap is on, and then we can watch everybody go racing. B17 and Smith have both been disqualified and reset to the grid. Unfortunately, this minutest of taps can cause that, so it was probably just a minor little accident, but
Yeah,
very
sometimes I
harsh
see
on this
these.
game when tyre temperatures are a premium.
And it's harder to get them to the temperature as well.
Yeah, I miss the old esports strategy where you could just hold the brake on for the lap.
Yeah, because that doesn't work in this game, does it?
No, not at all. You'll get about one degree if you're lucky doing that. I do miss that.
That is quite a good way of warming the tyres up, like you say, previous games, but
It
to be
worked
honest with
best on the
you,
last game. It worked a bit on 22, but it was definitely brilliant on 23. And on this game it just doesn't work. Tyre temperatures are an absolute premium. I don't think I've ever started a race on more than about 73.
I think they're trying to make it more realistic,
It don't matter how
but
much you weave, you just get nothing.
yeah,
But there we
ticket pays a
go.
good 2 laps.
Everybody's on the grid. We should hopefully... There we go, we're starting to get some lights. Worst camera angle in the world, but that's 5 red lights, and we go racing! Let's hope they all get off to a great start. There we go, better camera angle. Micromaster stayed in front. Xavier and Chris are going to follow in formation. Hopefully not a lot is going on further back. Ant's lost a couple of positions. There's a few up and
I think
downs across the grid, but everybody seems to be moving fine. Into
I think
turn 3, this
Southland's
is
stalled it.
always a big pinch point in races, but everybody seems to be getting through nice and clean so far. Just scroll quickly down the grid. We've got Baby Hornet running very wide, but very weird rejoin onto track, but no collisions, so it's all good. I'll keep an eye on how everybody gets on, but that looks like a good first lap of racing. The usual
Yeah,
pinch points and marginal zones have not caused any major issues.
played as the highest gainer so far.
Who's that?
B17,
RB17,
Baldy.
East 17, Baldy, Buildy Baldy. He's had many nicknames over the years.
Blade, Baldy, B17, Bomber.
Micromaster with the first fastest lap, but easy to do when you're out front. DRS should be activated. And it is. I'm seeing flaps wide open. And there is some moisture on the track though.
Yeah.
That could cause a little bit of chaos. Is it coming on? Is it going? Who knows?
It was a bit of a mixture of Tier 3, wasn't it?
To be honest, I didn't really see much of Tier 3. I watched the back end of it, but it seemed to be where it was going back to dry, so...
Yeah, I think I started watching about must have been halfway through the rain then.
I think it was definitely towards the end when I watched. So... timing gaps aren't looking overly consistent at the moment. Because it's showing here we're both 3.8 seconds behind, but it's definitely not 3.8 seconds behind. It's Friddy with the big gap. Oh, there we go, we've updated slightly now. Here we're both 1.4 behind.
1.4, yeah.
Lorpy and single track having a bit of a battle between turns 2 and 3. Saviour's taken the lead, we missed that one, whoops. Well, the Micro Mash is taking it back on the way down to turn 4. Bobo and Colin having a bit of a ding-dong on the way to turn 4 as well. Like I said before, 3 DRS zones, all of them back to back, so basically from turn 10 to turn 4 you are in DRS.
Yeah. I think they should do away with the middle section of the DRS. Turn 1.
Well, the one up to turn 3, between turn 1 and turn 3. Although that is the one where most of the overtakes get made. Micromash has pitted. Is this telling us that we're going on to intermediates and we're actually going to get a wet race? Oh, sorry, moist race. Let's have a quick look. He is definitely going intermediates. So he's convinced that this rain is going to carry on. It's not going to dry up within a lap or two. Sabio and Chris are battling it out nicely for the lead. I know they're in the same car. They are essentially teammates, but there's no team play in this tier. It's every man for himself. And Chris is on the inside going into turn 4. He gets past. Does Sabio get the switch back? No, not quite. Just not quite enough traction out there with these conditions at the moment. Ant's back up into P3, which we did expect. He's a good racer. You can't ever count him out, despite the fact he's not practiced much this week.
That goes for nothing when you're as consistent as those top 3, 4 even, or 5.
To be fair, most of the guys in this tier are very exceptional racers. You can't race with no assist and be awful, really.
No, you need to have...
Obviously, we do have some slower guys in here. It's bound to happen. Because
of the pace, it's more the skill level.
It is, because even though they race as one, they score points based on the prospective tier that they would be in. So if they're a tier 1 driver, they score points as tier 1 drivers. Same with tier 2, same with tier 3. Tier 3, I know we've got Stoob, and is it Bobo? Are the only ones I can pick out off the top of my head. Bobo will not be tier 3 next season. I think he's more likely to be tier 1 with his pace. He is ridiculous fast.
I've done 2 or 3 races. Me going from ABS only to doing those races, I understand how hard it is to be so consistent. It's crazy how hard it is.
As I understand it, Armar is actually the championship leader at the moment, and we have no Ogoni again, and Ogoni was the one with the main answer to him.
So could open up for Armar, sorry.
In fact, after this race, Armar could be the champion, because he has a 32-point lead over Ogoni and a 74-point lead over Ant. Now after this race there's only one race left, which is obviously 25 points. 26 if we do fastest lap. I can't remember if we do or not, so don't quote me on that. I believe we don't in this tier.
So technically he just needs to finish within a place or two.
Well,
in fact, no, as long as he finishes within the points, he should.
in fact he essentially is the champion.
Yeah, because Anton can't catch him, can he?
Anton can't catch him, Agoni can't catch him now based on the fact he's not racing, so
yeah.
Armar will actually be the champion of this tier.
There you go, there's your first champion. Is that the first champion of the season?
No, we've had a few. I think most of them are crowned already.
Are they all crowned now? Stupid to be tier 3.
Let's have a look. Bobo got tier 3. Agoni got tier 1. Mark Hodgson got tier 2. Agoni got MRCX elite side. I believe the challenger side is still open for debate. Although I don't think we've had the most recent results yet, so I'm not sure how that actually stands. But it is possible that that one is still open between Bobo and Stube. Although, funnily enough, you're actually still in the top 3 of that. But moving back anyway, Ant's taking the lead, Chris is second, Sabia's third, so it's all swapping around at the front. This is literally dancing around now, who's got the most confidence. And the top 5 still haven't pitted, which is going to put them under massive pressure from Micromash, Kaiser, Vixen. DRS has been disabled, so we're definitely going into wet conditions now. I would expect to see the 7 people who haven't pitted pitting any time now. In fact, Ant and Chris are pitting. Sabia's had a really weird pit entry there. Very, very late call. Cowboys joining them. I think Friddy's going in as well, which will leave Baby Hornet and Stube.
What a boy, look what Micromash has got up to already.
Baby Hornet's gone in as well. I suspect Stube will do the same.
I think Micromash has played a blinder. Left pit stop.
Well, with that name, we'll just call him Michael Massey. He's made things play out the way he wants them to play out. Ooh, controversy.
But to be fair, on the guys that have just literally came out the pits, to be able to do a couple of laps in those conditions was 0 assists. You know, it's well done. Good to your hats off though.
It is the conditions I find the hardest. I can do no ABS. I don't choose to most of the time because I don't really have the time to practice. I still know traction, no line, everything. I just run ABS, but I can run no ABS. The problem comes when you get a wet race because it's so much harder not to lock up constantly.
Yeah, I've done a couple of 0 assist race. But I've been lucky, they've all been dry. I've never really done 0 ABS in the wet.
Just jump on board with Ant, who's trying to find his way past Bobo. Obviously no DRS assistance now, so it's all on skill and power. Who's going to be the latest on the brakes? Goes nice and wide in turn 3. In fact, a little bit too wide, leaving the space. Is that going to give Bobo the switch back? Oh, they're going to be side by side. In fact, Chris Bailey has just pulled both their pants down and gone through the middle of them. What a move from the blowhole. So Chris mugs the pair of them. Ant comes out ahead of Bobo after all that battling, and Armar is right on the back of this fight now as well. Chris needs to try and scamper up the road. He's 4.3 seconds behind Vixen, so he needs to try and make some headway on this lead. Obviously he's 7.4 behind Micromash. Can he catch that up to try and make something happen? I'm assuming Micromash is tier 1, don't quote me on it, but I believe he is. With the pace he's showing, I think he would be a good candidate for it. Vixen again, I'm not sure.
Yeah. That's quite impressive, the lead he's got.
A few new names in this tier.
A few names since that. Who's last in? Mahmoud. Sounds Scottish, that boy.
We call him the Cowboy.
Cowboy. Okay.
Yeah, me and Simon came up with that one a couple of weeks ago. I was going to call him the Cow because of the moo, but then we thought we could potentially offend him, so depending on religion choices and food choices, etc. So we decided to go with Cowboy.
Well, he's certainly not on a horse tonight.
Single track has got himself past Lorpy, making that wheelie work for him tonight.
So, what do you think of the new Merc livery? You seen that?
Yeah, the one special one they're running for Singapore. Have you seen the MasterCard chip and pin, Visa Cash App, whatever we're calling it these days? They've done one as well.
No, I've not seen that.
Yeah, they've got special livery for it as well. Red Bull was supposed to have one and have bailed on it. They've ditched the special liveries for, I believe it was, I'm sure they were doing Singapore and they were doing Texas as well. They've ditched doing these special liveries now to save weight. So they're clearly that worried about the weight of the car and the championships and everything that they've ditched doing any special liveries, whereas beforehand they had that much time in the pocket. They went, yeah, forget it, let's just do it.
Surely it doesn't add too much weight.
Well, that was the whole reason that the Mercedes went black last season, because it wasn't actually black paint, it was carbon fibre. So they weren't adding any paint to the car.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't make sense, because surely they can save weight in other areas, because the car and driver have to weigh a certain amount combined. I don't know if they still do, but historically they used to put little weights in the car to make that weight what it should be. Oh, Stubb's out. Looks like he's had a. It looks like he's had a moment coming out of turn 8.
It's getting to that stage on track, I think.
That is one set of corners that can really catch you out.
Yep.
6 is hard enough. 7 is quite hard, but then you've got the switch to the opposite direction for turn 8. And if you're too much on that curve, especially in the wet conditions, you are doing a dancing on ice in the middle of the track.
And having
Anybody in the nearby stands can stand there with a scorecard and go 10, 6, 2, and just score you on what they think your pirouette was like.
Strictly from F1.
Exactly. This is a track not to be underestimated. It looks easy because it's only 10 corners, and I mean 2 of them don't even really count as corners.
Yeah.
2 up, yeah, you've got turn 2, which is that kink between turn 1 and turn 3, because this used to be 9 corners when it was the A1 ring. And then you've got turn 5, which is that sort of kink, right hand kink after turn 4. That's not even properly a corner.
No, it could still throw you off though.
I've never really seen it throw you off, because normally you've got the power down, you're accelerating, you're going through the gears. There's not really much to do there.
Some folk I've seen that have been too busy focusing on their rear view mirror, they've actually hit the grass on the right hand side and it's spun them out.
No, that's what you call being a sausage.
Yep. That's what I mean. That would be me, one of them.
Oh, you're definitely a sausage. I've seen the picture of your legs. Mister, I forgot the sun cream.
I wouldn't call them legs now, mate. Maybe date check more like.
Deep fried.
Oh, it's certainly deep fried now. But I had a good holiday, so we got it.
You'll be going next time with the Factor 500 on.
That's before I leave Glasgow.
Well, we'll just let the pack bunch up. We'll be having a minimum of.
Dry off?
I don't know. I think it's too early to tell. I mean, a few people have pitted for a fresh set of intermediates. That tells me it's not drying in any hurry.
No. I think it may dry off towards the end, and we'll see a few guys going onto the softs.
Although plot twist, it could get wetter.
Or it could get wetter, yes.
Oh, just especially for the Hornet, moister.
More moist.
We know how much he loves the moisture.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, you need to get them legs healed up so you can return to the racetrack.
Well, they're actually getting better, mate. It's just the swelling that's the problem. It's not really the actual burns herself, because what I was saying, it's the skin's starting to peel, so that's a good sign. It's the swelling that's the annoying thing. I can't bend my ankles, you know, so it's not very good in trying to press the pedals.
So no driving for you full stop at the moment then?
No, I'm hoping to be back by the weekend, because like I say, it's starting to get better.
There we go, safety
Nowhere
car
near
has
as much
been
pain
called
tonight
in
as-
this lap.
As I was last night, so...
Chris will now become the de facto safety car and bunch the pack up, try and get some modicum of heat into his tyres, and just generally try and pick where he wants to go to try and catch everybody out. Because he's going to want to try and scamper up the road as much as he possibly can. I mean, there would have probably been a good time to go because he had 0.8 seconds of gap.
Yeah, I think he'll make catch one or two guys for sleeping here. They thinking when he will go and when he actually...
He's gone.
Oh, there we go. Like you say, once you had that gap, that was the perfect time.
That would have been a perfect time. He did let him bunch back up slightly.
It's not a long way to go. You know, not even halfway through yet.
We're on lap 15 of 36, so like you say, Grant, we're not halfway through yet. We've got plenty of laps to go. Hopefully bring you plenty of action as well.
I'm on board the Kaiser and a big pack. He's got Martin and Walker right off his jump. Depending to do it. Catching flies, big man?
I certainly am.
Good reason everyone, and that's when you know you're knackered.
I know, it's only Wednesday and I'm already yawning my head off. I've not recovered from the weekend. Just keep an eye on Saviour. He's trying to find his way back through the pack. As is Micro Mash.
Oh,
Lorp is pitted.
Maybe Hornets will be able to back up to 13th. He was sitting. Well, he dropped 11 places right at the start of the first lap.
There we go, Saviour's
Right down to the back.
picked his position. Can he make this stick is the question. Side by side through turn 3, who's is the better traction on the exit? It is Saviour. Well played from the German.
I quite like the cash app livery.
It's not a bad livery, to be fair.
I quite like it.
It's not a bad wee car.
Let's see.
It's all a little bit status quo at the moment. Obviously, Saviour's one of the ones making the moves. Micromash is trying to do the same. So these guys are a little bit out of position now with the pitting and how it all played out.
Yeah. I think the safety cars helped a lot of people come back into that.
I mean, Micromash is out of position because he pitted again under the safety car to try and gain a tyre advantage. So his are only 4 laps old, whereas most of them around him are 9 or 10. That could play crucial later in the race.
Yeah.
But he did essentially give up the lead to do this.
He's already really dropped 3 positions, so...
Well, he has now. He's gained 2 or 3 back so far.
Well,
It dropped him a little bit more, but obviously... I think it dropped him behind Colin. Because Kaiser and Vixen also pitted. I think Kaiser was running P2 at the time.
You think it 2 stops and 17 laps and he's still sitting P4. That's really good going. Good going.
Sabier's dropped back a little bit, so let's have a quick look at Micromash. It was all over the back of Bobo. Can he make anything happen on the run to turn 3? It is much harder to overtake, obviously, with no DRS. It's more old school.
Yeah.
This is what the drivers used to have to do. You fight and fight and fight. You weren't just, oh well, I've got to hang on to him, be within about half a second and open this flap in my rear wing to get some extra speed. I mean, if you go back far enough, like to the 80s, they used to have turbos in the cars, and like they had like an ERS type system with a boost button, but you could only use it so many times in the race. So they had to strategically decide when to use that button. Because if you run out and you've got a fast charger coming at you late in the race, what do? You've nothing left. Micromash has made his move coming out of turn 8. Very brave. Clearly had a bit more confidence than Bobo going through 7 and 8.
Just don't sound the same as what is exciting is what they used to.
I do prefer the older engines. I mean, when I started watching, I think we were on the back end of the V12s, just going into the V10 era. The V10s were great, the V8s. You used to get the V12s occasionally. I remember Ferrari used to have long and short wheelbases, and some were using V12, some were using V10. On the like 97, 98 sort of era. And then they all went to V10. These V6s just don't sound the same, and all the electronics is like whine.
Yeah, it's like your grandma's Hoover, isn't it?
Yeah. Damn electric cars. Let's have a quick look further back.
Hydrogen, that's the way forward.
Better than burning all these fossil fuels to try and make the earth cleaner with all the million charging ports you're going to need. Yeah, Micromash pressuring all over the back of Ant at the moment, and he's going for the move.
Wow.
He gets that done well before turn 1 and gets position back for the corner. Otherwise he would have been very compromised on his run through turn 1 and give Ant a good chance. Although Ant's all over the back of him, pushing like crazy. So is Saviour. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 3. And Micromash does a massive undercut on Ant. What a switcheroo that was. He saw what was happening, braked early, got the switch back and just went for it. What a move that was.
That was well played, wasn't it?
We saw a similar move in tier 3 with Bobo and Stube on the last lap. Stube was on the inside, so Bobo braked early, let Stube run slightly deeper into turn 4, just cut back on him and went for it. I'll see you later. It was a hell of a move with that. I think Micromash has been taking tips. Let's go have a quick look at Saviour and Bobo. They've just joined the back of this fight as well. They've dropped Armar a little bit. Although is it just me, or do these conditions not look as wet as what they did?
I was just actually going to say that to you a couple of minutes ago.
We've got people actually pitting. Oh, I didn't realise I'd left the tyres on so much, but we'll see what these guys put on in the pit stops, and then we'll get rid of the tyre display. And Kayser's gone medium, so has Friddy. So it looks like we're going back to dry. So you called it right there, Grant. The track is going to dry up.
Hey, don't call me a Mystic Meg for nothing.
No, but you're Scottish, you should be expecting rain.
Yeah. That's all we see in the winter.
So you see in the summer, innit?
No, they get grey clouds this summer.
How some of your boys can walk around in kilts in that weather, I really don't know.
You know something, because they're made of wool, they're actually nice and warm. They're actually warm on some joggies you get, believe it or not.
Although I bet right now with your legs you're praying for a kill in some cold weather.
Oh, praying for some snow so I can just jump right into it.
Colin's pitted now as well. Obviously we're going to start to see a bit of a switch over from the inters to the dry weather tyres. Micromass is pressuring all over the back of Chris Bailey. Not making anything happen into turn 3. Can he make it work into turn 4? He's got such grip on the exits of these corners. But despite the tyre advantage, Chris is not letting him get anywhere near.
No, I think the two of them will be... But which one, either Micromash or Chris Bailey, who'll pit first, but I think the two of them will be pitting the next lap or two.
I think if Chris pits, Micromash will probably follow him in. I don't think the intermediates are the right tyres to be on now. I suspect DRS will be enabled any time.
Yeah,
see, Chris has pulled over to the right. That signal is in his intentions to pit. Is Micromash following him? No, he's not. He's stayed out. As has Sabia, but that's probably wise because you will get bunched in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Now the race is on. Who's going to be faster, Micromash or Chris? Chris will be on the more optimal tyres, but is the track 100% ready for that push? Or is it still a little bit cautious?
It's straight onto the hard.
But a lot of the guys have pitted already. I'm surprised it wasn't mediums. I would have thought that 13, 14 laps would be doable, unless he doesn't have a set left.
Yeah, unless he started mediums.
I think most of them started on mediums, other than 2 that went softs. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what Micromash comes out on.
Chris is back out and flying around. Let's have a look at him actually and see what his traction's like into turn 4. He doesn't really seem to be struggling. He runs a little bit wide on the exit. That could be more cold tyres than anything. Oh, is Micromash pitting? He is. So let's keep an eye on this gap. Micromash is in the pit lane. Should be in his pit box any time. Chris is just coming around turn 7 and 8. This is going to be very, very tight. Well, Chris has got very squirrely and Ant's gone past him. I think Micromash is on the move. The race is now really on with... I think Micromash will actually hold the lead. And it's a safety car! He will hold the lead now.
Seconds. As is much. What is much?
Why have we got a safety car though is the question. Nobody's DNF'd.
I can't see anyone that's went off track.
B17 has got no front wing.
So
that's not going to help matters, although you would have thought that would just be a virtual. But it will allow everybody to swap the tyres and bunch the positions. So Saviour Vixen and Sam Flan, who are still on the intermediates, won't lose massive chunks of time now when they pit.
So
that may just play into their hands slightly. Maybe not so much Sam. But I think Saviour especially, that could play into his hands quite massively. Possibly Vixen as well, because you usually lose 9 to 10 seconds under a safety car for a pit stop as opposed to the usual 20 seconds. And I think that should work out for him. But the problem is the pack hasn't caught the safety car yet, so they are able to run that a little bit quicker.
Yeah, the pack will be catch the safety car just now.
Micromash is gonna get his teammate Vixen, but Saviour will get out ahead. It was close, but he has just made it ahead. And now Saviour will pick up the safety car, hopefully not run into it. We've seen that before.
Yeah, I've done it myself.
Don't think I've done that, but I've been close a couple of times. Where you just sort of get into that rhythm and it's like, oh, safety car, slam on, move to the side, try and avoid it and don't go past it too much.
I got disqualified once going up beside it.
That's always the worry, if you go too much up the side of it, it will disqualify you.
Yeah.
And if you touch it in any way, shape or form, it disqualifies you as well.
Crazy, yeah. I
Well,
suppose it's...
oh, 10-second time penalty for bait, severe collision with Lorpy. I would assume the stewards will be seeing that after this session. So interestingly, everybody is repitted now. No, Chris went on to mediums, 7-lap mediums at that. So everybody barring Friddy is on mediums, Friddy's gone for softs. That's a little bit of a bold call, I suspect.
You think if they went for softs, he could have made them last?
I'm not convinced they can. I mean, the safety car will come in at the end of this lap, that's lap 26, sorry.
Yeah.
Leaves us, what, 9-10 laps of racing. I don't think the softs will hold on for that at the pace that these guys are going to be going for.
And zero.
I think the
EBS
mediums
as well.
is the better call, but is Chris and Smith going to suffer on the fact that their tyres are 8 laps old? And Kaiser Soze. Although Bit and B17 have also made the plump and jumped for the softs as well, which could potentially keep the safety car out another lap because the cars are so lagging behind. The last car on track that's not lapped is Bit, sorry. He's just gone around turn 1, the safety car is currently going around turn 5. So we could potentially get another lap, which may open the door for other people to go a little bit gung-ho, jump in, get a fresh set of tyres and go, let's just have some fun with this. See how many positions I can make up.
Some people do have that idea.
Hint, hint, Chris Bailey. In fact, don't listen to me, because if it goes wrong, I don't want to be to blame.
No. Don't want him cussing at you.
Coming at me with his big afro. Let's keep an eye on him, see what he does. I think he's staying out anyway. I mean, it could be out of them 8 laps. Most of them have been under safety car, so them tyres could be perfectly fine. Unfortunately, in comms, we can't see wear indicators. We don't get all these nice fancy Amazon logistics things that you get on the TV. You occasionally get them pop up and as a bit of a courtesy thing, but we can't call them and go, show me this. We don't have 6 million screens in front of us like the main commentators for the F1 that they've got every bit of detail possible.
Well, going to this track, you're looking at about 16 laps if you didn't have the safety car on mediums. Anyway, so if he's only done 8 laps, he could easily get another 8 laps out of them.
He'll easily get to the end. I do
Obviously,
suspect the safety car will be in this lap anyway, and it is, it's just been called. B17 may catch up, he may not, but as he's lapped, it's not going to make a massive amount of difference, but he should catch up. He's at turn 4, the last car's at turn 5, so let's keep an eye on Saviour and see when he decides to jump for it. Obviously very experienced at leading races, just like Chris was earlier. He knows what he wants, he knows what he needs to do, he knows when he wants to do it. But Micromash is no slow customer. He's going to have to really try and get a jump on it here.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with Micromash's pace.
And Saviour's gone, but Micromash has gone with him. Saviour's going to be under massive pressure into turn 1. Literally, Micromash is practically pushing him. He's held back a little bit. Going up to turn 3, this is going to be very, very close to call. If there was DRS available, I would have said that's a surefire pass. And he bumps into the back of him and his teammate bumps him. Let's hope nobody got a broken wing off that one.
No.
In fact, Vixen did. He's missing an end plate. That is so unfortunate. But unfortunately, it was the concertina effect. Well, Bobo's now got Vixen and got himself 3 seconds for the privilege. Vixen's going to struggle his way around.
You don't see it.
I'll tell you who's been having a bit of a quiet race and we've just jumped on board with. It's Single Track. He's up in P5. He's having a bit of a battle with Colin at the moment. There was a little bit of contact, but nothing major to write home about. But he's quietly got himself up there. He's going to now.
Known as a Scottish Ninja. He's now known as a Silent Ninja.
I think he's close enough to potentially get DRS. No, he's not. He's out of DRS, which means he's going to be massively under pressure now. DRS is enabled. So Colin will probably get an E. Vixen's out. He's given up in the pit lane, unfortunately. Nice little battle going on here with Colin and Single Track. And Sam Flan's getting involved, so the two Williams are side by side on the way down to turn 4. Neither of them wants to give an inch, and Single Track is just going to come out ahead on that one. But then we've got Ant trying to get in the mix as well, who's actually got past Sam Flan.
There's some good racing.
There is some good racing, and like we've said before, don't give Ant a sniff, he will take it. Micromash is also putting Saviour under pressure. Let's go have a quick look at that one. Chris is all over the back of Sam Flan, I can see from the timings, so that could be another surefire pass coming up. But for now, we'll stay on board with Micromash and see if he can find his way past Saviour, because he will have DRS on the run to turn 3. Does he pick a side? Does he hold back? Waiting for turn 4. He's picked a side, but he's not really gone for the move. He's going to try and get good exit out of 3, which he seems to have done. DRS open, but I'm not sure he's going to be close enough to make this happen. You have to be so close coming out of turn 3 to make turn 4 happen. So Saviour lives to fight another day. Let's jump back to Chris, who's stuck in a bit of a DRS train at the moment. Although a little mistake from Sam Flan, and Chris is alongside him, leaving each other plenty of room there, and Chris has made that one stick. Oh, very, very slidey in turn 7 though. Is that going to give Sam Flan yeah, I think he took a little bit too much curb and it just spat him around a little bit. Saviour with the fastest lap. He needs it to keep Micromash behind him. Unfortunately, Chris is out of DRS range now, which could leave him vulnerable.
Yeah, the voice and David Horner. Two teammates, P910.
So we can just see that in the background. Sam Flan's gone past Chris, but that will give Chris the DRS on the run back down to turn 4. Because obviously it is different detection zones, especially for them 2 points. Single Track hanging on to the back of Colin, and somehow putting on a monster defence to keep Ant at bay. Baby Hornet with 3 seconds. They're popping up all over the place now. And I don't know what Saviour has got strapped to the back of that car, but I'm assuming it's a rocket. Because somehow he is holding Micro Mash off. Some driving there from the multi-time champion.
It's unbelievable at times, Saviour, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. Let's have a quick look at penalties. So we've got 3 seconds for Burbo, 3 for Colin, 3 for Chris, 3 for Samflan, 6 for Baby Hornet, 3 for Freddy, 3 for Armar, 3 for Kaiser Soze, 10 for Bit, and 3 for B17. Wouldn't worry too much about that one for Bit right now. That could just be a minor little thing that I'm assuming will get looked at in the stewards. Oh, Micro Mash is pushing Saviour around. That gap is so minute, but he still cannot find a way past him. Ant's making a move on single track. Single track will not give that up easily though, but he's going to have to accept he was out traction there coming out of turn 4. And got himself 3 seconds in for the privilege. Let's keep an eye on Chris. He's in DRS of Samflan, but just can't seem to find a move. And gets himself another 3 seconds. Not a good day in the MasterCard this evening. Saviour another fastest lap. It seems to be pulling away from Micro Mash a bit, but that is the sort of gap you need just to stay ahead. I'll have another quick look, 'cause there's not a lot going on further back right now. Another safety car.
Surely this one doesn't stay out for long.
Oh, Chris has got no front wing.
Oh, wonder what happened.
I think he's lost it coming out of turn 1. Because all of a sudden you just saw him dropping down the order massively. The problem is this safety car will only be out for about a lap. It will come in at the end of lap 34 regardless of whether the pack is bunched or not.
It's not like Crystal, is it?
No. Possibly something happened ahead and he was trying to avoid, or he's just caught too much curb at turn 1. But obviously he's trying to get back to the pits as fast as possible. He's going to have to take a front wing and a set of softs. Try and catch up to the pack as quickly as possible, because it will be end of safety car on the next lap. It's going to be all systems go, and we are going to see a massive fight back from Chris.
Does fastest lap get points?
I don't think it does in this one. I can't see anything on the standings for fastest lap.
Yep.
Kaiser Soze, Bit and Smith have all taken the opportunity to pit for a fresh set of boots, although I'm not sure that's the wisest move. Chris is obviously...
Another 2 laps to go.
Chris obviously had to do it.
Yeah.
He had no choice, but he's now going to... This pack are going to have to absolutely boot it. The safety cars at turn 5, they've just come out of the pits. Chris being the last one. Safety car in has just been called. We'll keep an eye on them gaps. Jump back to the front and see how Saviour gets on at the same time. If Saviour holds them a little bit, Bit's the front runner of the pack and he's at turn 4. Turn 5, they're just going around turn 7 and 8. I think they're going to be almost there, as long as Saviour doesn't go too early. Yeah, they're just about making it onto the pack.
Yeah.
Yep, and Saviour drops the hammer and goes for it just as Chris gets onto the pack. We'll keep an eye on the positions Chris gains, because he's going to be absolutely flying now.
That's what we call perfect final.
And he's got one position already, he's got Smith. Cowboy gets himself 3-second time penalty. So the question is, well, there's 2 main questions going on here. Can Saviour hold on from Micro Mash? and Chris find his way through the pack. Both questions are going to be answered within a lap and a half. Very fast and furious lap this is. Average race time of about 1 minute 8, 1 minute 9. I can't remember what the fastest lap is, but fastest lap of a 1.6. Average race lap in this seems to be about 107 to 108. Chris is now on the back of Keza Soze, which is a position that will give him points, of course, assuming that, yep, he's got it done. Lorpy is up next. I don't know which tier Lorpy's in now. Is he tier 1, tier 2? But unfortunately Chris's penalties will not help him either. Sabia is still holding on, and Bobo's getting in on the action now. Oh, I was tight into turn 3. Micro got himself past, got DRS, but Chris is coming back at him. Oh, sorry, Sabia's coming back at him. I'm losing track. But what a battle this is. They're almost side by side. They're going to be side by side. No, Micro's got it done. I don't think Sabia's going to have an answer in the last 3 corners. What a last lap move that was from Micro Mash.
Of course, if you're going to do it in the last lap when you've got the advantage of DRS.
So there we go. Micro Mash wins. Sabia second. Ant takes third. Bobo fourth. Colin fifth. Single Track sixth. Hero Boy 7th, Sam Flan 8th, Lorpy 9th, Armar 10th, Freddy 11th, Smith 12th, Cowboy 13th, Kaiser 14th, Baby Hornet 15th, Chris 16th, and we ran out of time there. We'll have a quick look once the podium celebrations are over and done with. Definitely not the race Chris would have wanted. Sam Flan gets driver of the day in the Williams.
Williams.
There we go. Obviously the top 3 coming onto the podium. There's a podium you'll probably never see. A Kick Sauber in P1 and a MasterCard in P2. We've seen the McLaren in P3 a few times. In fact, we've seen it on every step of the podium. It's the Sauber and the MasterCard that is blowing my mind.
Never seen the ball.
Well,
you're probably right.
The Kick thing is only going to be Kick for next year.
I don't know who's coming on.
It goes to Audi after that. So we go. Chris 16th, Bit 17th, Bildy Baldy 18th, Vixen and Stu were DNFs in P19 and P20 respectively. Fastest lap went to Armar Red. I don't know if that counts for anything in this. But yeah, our champion should be confirmed this week as Armar Red. Well, one more stop on the calendar of X-Treme, of course. It will be Silverstone next week. First up, as always with the MRC week, it'll be MRCX on Friday, so rejoin us at 7:30. I believe that is myself and Connor, but we shall see in due course. And then on to the usual races, Tier 2, Tier 1 on Monday, 7 and 8:45 respectively. Tier 3 and X-Treme again next Wednesday. Same timings. And of course that will round out our season. But there we go, that's the action over and done with for this evening. And thank you for stepping in as an emergency join there, Grant.
Well, thanks for having me, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, of course, my friend. I'm sure we'll do it again at some point.
Yeah,
definitely the Scottish Ninja came to save the day today.
Oh, it's a first for everything.
There we go. That for MRC for Austria week. We are done, and we say good night. We'll see you next time.